For those of you that don't know me, I am an intuitive healer. I'm a spiritual teacher, a mentor. I love teaching about the spiritual gifts and helping you to understand and be able to navigate those to be able to use them in your everyday life. And so that's one of the things that I do. Um, I also have a spiritual development circle where you can come together on Zoom in a safe space so that you can grow and learn about your gifts and be able to use them in your life if you want to use them in a professional manner or just to help you in your life. So today we're talking about overcoming perfectionism. And so the thing about that is, that to me is one of the greatest myths because there is no way that anybody can be perfect in this world. And so when you get this space where you're trying to do everything perfect, what happens many times is you do things and you don't get anything done because you don't complete anything because nothing is ever perfect. And so it really ends up being a vicious cycle. You just keep doing things and you try to say, okay, well, I'm going to do this, but I can't put it out there until it's perfect. And that is also the same thing that happens to us in healing, and also even in this healing work that many of us do. And so in healing, we say, okay, well, we're going to heal this, or I've done the shadow work around this, I've done healing work, I've done this. But guess what? Nothing is happening for me. It's not moving the needle. I wasn't able to get started because I didn't think it was perfect. And so a lot of times, and I've talked about this before, but it's based on fear. It's based on fear of missing out, fear of not being perfect, fear of, maybe something happened to you in the past where people were judging you for something that you did, and you felt like if you had only been able to do it perfectly, then it would work for you. But that is not even so, that is so far from the truth. And so the thing is it stops you and blocks you in your life because you think I'm not getting it perfect. But one thing that I want to submit to you is perfect in whose eyes? Perfect in whose judgment? So that's something that you want to ponder and you want to consider for yourself. Is it perfect in your judgment? Is it perfect in somebody? Is it imperfect in somebody else's judgment or in your judgment? Where does that come from? What is the root of that? Where you think that just because you're doing something and you don't think it's perfect, you can't put it out there. And I'm speaking especially to my spiritual entrepreneurs and my entrepreneurs in general, because many times we stop and we are blocked because this thing that we're doing doesn't look perfect to us. And so when you do that, this is the time when, and it's funny because I tell people a lot of times when I'm doing readings and counseling and things, I tell people that, you're never going to be perfect. You're never going to be perfect. You want it done better than perfect. And a lot of times what happens is you get this in your mind and you're thinking about it and then all of a sudden something comes up that tells you that, you are not perfect. And so who are you to think that you could do such a thing and be perfect at it? Who are you? All of these things start coming up for us when we're in the space of looking for perfection. And the thing is there's no one perfect on the earth that is perfect. And so, really what you're looking for is a fantasy. It's a fallacy. It's not even something that exists. It's not something that can be. And so a lot of times when we think like that, what it does is it stops us from forward movement, from moving forward, because we are such in this space where we are feeling like, I'm doing this thing, but I can't put it out there because it's not all the way perfect, it's not right. Let me tell you something. Some of the things that I did, and I got the most engagement, the most people came through, the most people got amazing, beautiful healings was because I did things, I put things out there that I didn't think was perfect. I finished is what I said. I said I'm finished with this. Like I would go back and forth in my mind, go back and forth with my marketing, go back and forth with so many things, because it didn't look perfect to me. And so one of the things that I say that I did was I started, and I'm actually doing this right now. I started this process where I said, no, I'm going to do something. I'm going to allow myself to be in the flow so that things can flow through me and so that the flow can actually move the needle for me because I'm not so concerned and worried about everything being perfect. Even down to social media. So many people wait until, I got to get my hair done. I got to do my nails. I got to do this and that, but I don't care about any of that. You know what I mean? Because none of that means anything in terms of this work that I'm doing, this body of work that I'm putting out into the universe, into the world. And so once I got into flow and once I decided that flow was my state of being that I was going to be in as I do this work, things started shifting in a way that I had prayed for and that I had spoken, that I had asked for. Things started shifting. And so many things have happened to really make me understand that done is better than perfect. Done is better than perfect. Because the thing is I think about all of the people that would not have gotten the wisdom that I share. All of the people that would not have gotten the space that I hold. Because the thing is if you're a person that can hold space for people, that is an amazing transformation and transition that you can use to help people. Because for me, sometimes just holding space is what you need. And I've needed that for myself. Just somebody just to hold space for me while I process some things. And this is what I do for other people. Many times I'm just holding space. A lot of times I mirror back to you what it is that you need. And that is one of the things that I'm so grateful as a reflector in human design that I can do is that I can mirror this back to you and I can show you, you know, how you do so you can see and make those changes and adjustments. And so, anyway, thank y'all for joining. Thank you for showing up for me. I appreciate that. I hope this has been helpful for you. I do also have phone sessions that I'm doing. Those are available. You can find them. Go in the community tab. I have a post there with the link in there so that you can sign up if you need to. You can also reach out to me. Look at in the description of the video. I have all of the different places where I am: Facebook, TikTok, IG, all the places. You can find any of those places and send me a message. If that's helpful, I would love it if you do that. If you'll put a comment and tell me that you messaged me and where. Or you can email me. I think my email is also on this channel as well. So any way that you want to reach out, you can do so. And like I said, you can go to the community tab and look in there, and it might actually be in the description of the video as well. And then I also have an Unlocking Your Psychic Potential Development Circle that is starting November 1st. I'm looking for 20 people, no more than 20 people. I wanted a small group so that we can have time and space to hold space for one another. And it's a safe space where you can come in and learn how to use your spiritual gifts. I'm going to be teaching as well as opening up breakout rooms so that we can practice in safe spaces, in community with like minded people that, get you. Because I understand how that feels. I've been in community so many times that of people that didn't get me, and when I began to find the communities of people, like-minded people that actually got me, it felt so empowering. And so that is the space that I have created in unlocking your psychic potential development circle. So if that is an interest to you as well, that link also is in the description of the video, and I also have a post on it on my community tab that you can find the link as well with some more information on it. So if those things interest you, send me a message. You can, like I said, you can find me on any of the socials. You can also, my email also is I think in the about section. I think my email is there because people have emailed me. That's how I knew. So you can email me or, like I said, any of the socials. Do drop a comment even here under the video and let me know, that you're interested. Um, but that's something that I have created because it was a need. Because I had people asking me, did I do phone sessions? And I was like, wow, that's pretty good. So the phone sessions are 30 minutes and they're $55. So not very expensive. I tried to keep it reasonable so that people, can come and get the attention that they need and get the help and support, and so that I can hold the space for you. So again, thank you so much for joining. Make sure that you like, share, and subscribe to this video. Also, oh yes, I owe you an email. I'm so sorry. And I also have some people that want to do it as well. So if you can I send them your email? That's my question. Can I send them your email, because I want to do it, and I actually talked to a few other people that are interested as well. So if I can send them your email, just let me know. But I appreciate you, and I thank you. And I'm just excited because, to be honest with you, that was a manifestation of something that I had heard from the universe about doing, but I knew that I wasn't the person to do it because that's not my area of expertise, and it's not something I enjoy, but I know that it was needful. So thank you for creating it, and I appreciate you. And thank you for watching. But yeah, so just make sure that you like and share and subscribe. And then also on TikTok, I do live healings, prayers, reading. Okay, okay, awesome, awesome, awesome. Thank you so much. But I do live healings, prayers, messages from spirit, messages from heaven come through. We had a young lady, I say young lady, but she's an older lady that came through yesterday for one of the people on TikTok. And it was just amazing because sometimes that's how it happens for me. I the spirits just come through. I guess they if they see a willing vessel, they come. And so the spirits come through, and we were able to get a connection for this young lady on the live. So those are some of the things that happen on my lives on TikTok. So make sure that you're following me there. At Intuitive Tammy is where I am, and I go live typically every day, just like on here. I know I haven't been live in a couple of days because I've just been tired and processing. I don't know about y'all, but the eclipse energy was huge for me this time. Um, so I had to give myself grace, just give myself love. But typically, I'm live here every day, and I'm also live on TikTok daily, doing those things. So again, oh, girl, you gotta come. You gotta come. It's amazing. Like I said, I love it. I resisted at first. That was another one of those things about perfectionism for me, because I felt like, oh my God, am I qualified? Can I do this? All these things, and then I would see people on there, and I would get, almost like, sort of like an imposter syndrome, but not really, because I do know who I am, but it was one of those processes that I had to go through so I could get on there, because my husband actually encouraged me, and he actually pushed me, y'all. He actually pushed me to get on there. He's like, baby, get on here. There's people, you can make money, there's audiences, blah, 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 all this stuff. And so I was like, oh my God. And then I kept looking, I was like, oh, these aren't my people. And then people were kind of hateful and stuff at first. But you know what? I pushed on through. I got myself in a flow state so that I wasn't thinking about the perfectionism, and I just got on there, and I just am authentic. I'm just like I am here. I'm myself. I'm authentic. Oh, you're right. Girl, my husband is amazingly supportive. I mean, he's very supportive of this journey that I'm on, and he's my biggest supporter, and he's my best friend and my love all in one. And I'm so appreciative of him because he pushes me, because I in myself, I'm an introvert. I talk about that all the time. People don't understand it, but I've been diving into some of my astrological placements, and my rising is in Leo, and so that is where you get what I'm doing now is my Leo, because I'm a Scorpio sun and a Pisces moon. So, but my Leo pushes me out there, and that's the thing. And so, diving into that and learning all about those things in order to help me understand me, yeah, that's been a game changer. That and human design has been a game changer, because learning that, all my three placements, and then I started learning a little bit more about where my Venus is, my Mercury, all these things, and it's really been helping, especially in this marketing and all this stuff, and also in me understanding me so that I could, you know, embody me. I did a video about the Sasha Fierce thing, and that was huge for me because it just flowed through me, and it came to me because I started thinking about, who are all of our Sasha Fierces? You know what I mean? And I'm sitting here thinking, I'm like, I need to name mine because I know her, because I have had to be her. You know what I mean? And it's like, but we can all step into that. You know, it's not a Beyonce thing. I just used her because she's the most famous one that's talking about that. But it's in all of our things. It's in all of our things. Yes, that's what it is. It's like you have to do that because for me, like I said, I'm a Scorpio sun and a Pisces moon. I could just be. I am so comfortable with my own company. I could be me and my husband, and we live. It's just us. All of our kids are grown. We have 7 kids between us, but they're all grown and all gone and all on their own, and they live in their own states. Matter of fact, no, we don't have any kids in the state. The closest one we have is in Oregon, and they just moved from Texas, and we're so excited that they're there. So, we have those 3 hours away. But everybody else is across the country. I have one in Texas. We have one in Virginia. We have a couple in New Jersey, one I think in Pennsylvania or somewhere. You see what I'm saying? So they're all, and it's just us. And I'm comfortable, just me and my husband. I'm sitting in the car now because he's getting hand therapy. And I really didn't feel like going in there today. So I was kind of doing my own thing. So I said, let me just make a video right now while I'm sitting here, but these are things, and so, but I lean into this, and I've been learning, and that's been a journey as well, just really diving into who you are. And when I started diving into the reflector energy also, that was another thing that really helped me because it helped me understand who I was, because there was so many things about me that I wasn't understanding, and I thought, because I've always been like the weird one and the black sheep type of thing and all that, I've been that person. So I own that, and I'm okay with it. But now I understand why. You know what I mean? And I understand even with the energy, because sometimes, we want to do things, but if we don't have the energy to do them, we shouldn't do them. Like if I don't have the energy to come live, you won't see me. I'm not coming. Because I'm authentic. I can't put on. I can't do it. It's not. It doesn't work for me. Never has. Used to try. And to me that was another part of perfectionism. Trying to put yourself, in this box. But you know what? I'm not made to go in a box. And I would venture to say, if you're watching me, you aren't either. I'm not made to be in a box. I do what I want to do, and it's amazing how that affects so many areas of your life. Because for me, I started thinking like I write books, and I'm actually in the process. I got a couple of books going, y'all. I got a couple of books going. My signature book is Walking Away, and it is a part of my story, my journey, and you can find it on Amazon. I also have a link in the description. And y'all check out my Amazon links, y'all, because I'm trying to do this thing. So I have an Amazon store. So check out my Amazon links. There's stuff down there that I use. I also have my book down there so you can grab that. But yeah, so check out those and see if there's anything that you can, help a small creator out. Because I'm over here building and I'm excited and I'm thankful that you guys are here to help me. And so again, make sure that you're sharing this out. Make sure you're liking it. Make sure you're subscribed. All of those things. It doesn't serve us. It doesn't. It's like, what? I mean, what has it gotten you? That's the thing. Because I started looking at that. I started like journaling. Like I got my journal right here. I was journaling, and I started looking at, what does it serve? How does it serve you at all? Not at all. Because many times the things that you see and do are not perfect. And you can look at things, especially even like I've seen commercials and, TV shows and movies and even music. And I can see or hear just a little bit of discrepancy. So that makes it not perfect, right? And see, we're all the same way, because I was telling somebody about editing videos and stuff. And I said, man, I said, I do my podcast and I love it. I love it. If you are a spiritual entrepreneur and you want to come on, definitely hit me up because I have a couple of heavy hitters that I just did that I'm so excited, y'all. Y'all don't even know because those conversations really light me up. And me, making sure that I live in authenticity and that I'm authentic, authentic that word, authentic in everything that I do, makes me that way in all of my life. And so I do that. And so on my show, my podcast, y'all, the conversations are so fiery and light me up. I just had a conversation with a healer and a medium, and it was so much fun, and they were so similar, and it was aligned, and it made me know that even just that day was a line for me, because both of those conversations just lit my little reflector self up, because I'm telling you, when I have beautiful conversations, it lights me up. It really does, especially ones that I can just feel the energy. And those two ladies, it was hard for me to get out of both of their energies because they were just so fire. And when you're around people like that, that's what helps you. Yes, it's straight out of Savannah. Yes. Those two I haven't processed yet because I just did them Tuesday. But I was saying that to say that, I don't, I do light editing, because I'm not an editor. I don't even really enjoy it at all. I just know that, sometimes it needs to be done. So I do light editing, you know what I mean? And so I was talking to one of the girls. I was like, I do light editing. I said, I want to get my podcast to the place where, it's supporting, like it's making some money. I'm working on that. I said, but you know what? At this time, I'm doing it. It's a passion project for me because I love it. I said, but all the things that I do around it, putting it together, putting it on YouTube, Spotify, the places. I do promos for my guests. I make clips and stuff, and y'all, I make them the old fashioned way because I'm not. That's not my forte. That is not my skill set do those. So I make them old fashioned. I use the phone and record them off the computer and make clips like that for people so that they can post them as well as I can post them and we can get them out there. So that's one of the things that I absolutely truly love to do. And so now I am at this place where, it's time for me to monetize it. Because I love to do it. But what happens a lot of times is when you're doing these things and the work that I put in is a lot of work. I've been doing it probably about 4 years. I have I think over 200 shows. So it's like, oh my God. Yes, yes, I'm telling you. It's just been amazing. It's been amazing just to be able to do that. And I had to actually overcome that perfectionism when I started doing the show. Because when God told me to do it, I was like, and I like to talk. I'm a talker, you can tell. That's how they used to punish me when I was a child. They would send me to the room and tell me to shut up and not talk. Oh, so I love to talk, so I was like, okay. And then when Spirit was like, God was like, I want you to do a podcast. And I was like, okay. And then I was like, but I don't know how to do this and I don't know how to do that. And, God was like, you know what? Just start on YouTube. I think I started on Facebook. I started on Facebook. Just start on Facebook. So I would just bring people on Facebook Live and interview them like that, or I would just do them on Zoom and take it to Facebook, and then God told me put it on YouTube, and that's what I did. And so for a while, I would put it on Facebook, be on YouTube, and then I was interviewing a young lady a couple of years ago, and she said, "Why don't you try Spotify? I mean Anchor." And I was like, "Well, I tried it before, and it was just so complicated and so hard, and it just wouldn't work." She said, "Well, maybe try again because they've made some changes." And you know what? I tried again, and that was the most amazing thing step that I got, from one of my guests. And she was like, "Girl," and so I did, and I put it on there, and now it's on Spotify, it's on iHeart Music, um, it's on Apple, it's on Amazon, it's on Audible. I mean, it's everywhere you can listen to podcasts, and so I'm so excited about it. But it was something where I followed, my intuition. I listened to God's voice telling me to do this thing. Now, when I started, I didn't even get to where I am now. Like I started just interviewing everybody and anybody, because honestly, truth, I had to come out of the spiritual closet because I hadn't come out yet. Yes, absolutely. It's like I knew it was from God because I didn't have a clue, and to be honest with you, I didn't even take anybody's course. I watched some videos. I watched some videos on YouTube on how to create a podcast, and that's what I did. And like I said, that was 4 or 5 years ago, might have been 5. But that was 4 or 5 years ago that I did that, and I just watched some videos. I wasn't even in a podcast group on Facebook. Like I'm in one now, but I wasn't in even none of that. None of that. I'm telling you, this all came straight from spirit, and all the things that I did, even like the promos and all that stuff. Nobody taught me any of that. I did that because I got guidance from spirit. And so this is something that I love to teach other people too, is how to learn how to trust and connect to their intuition, to their God self, to God, to the Holy Spirit, whatever you want to call him, her, or them. Because, we're not going to get caught up in the semantics of names because that don't mean shit. And I'm going to tell y'all a story. So my grandmother, who was a pastor, preacher, evangelist, prophetess, all that. And so she was talking to somebody that was a Jehovah's Witness. And they said, people don't even know God's name. God's name is Jehovah. And so she said to him, she said, your name is Robert, right? He said, yeah. She said, if I call you Robert, will you answer? He said, yeah. She said, your name is, and she told him his middle name. He said, yeah, I'll answer. And she said, and told him his last name, I'll answer. And she said, God is like that. She said, it doesn't matter what name you call him. He's going to answer you when you call. And that, y'all, I remember that I was a teenager, I think. Yeah, I was a teenager when that happened. And that was phenomenal. It was phenomenal because that told right there that all this division and all that stuff, that ain't got nothing to do with God. And think about this, y'all. My grandmother was a Pentecostal, or probably Pentecostal non denominational minister. She had her own little church that she started in the 70s. So to me, she was so phenomenal that, you know, oh my God, I still think about all the things that she did, and I miss her physical presence to this day. But she's one of my guides. She is with me all the time, and I'm so grateful for that. But anyway, thank you so much for joining. I appreciate that. Definitely, I owe you an email, and I also do what you said. And so I'm just appreciative of just being here, being before you today. And thank y'all for liking, sharing, subscribing. And thank you for being here with me. And thank you for the conversation. I really appreciate it. Have a wonderful rest of your day. And make sure that you find me on TikTok. I'll be live there probably sometime this evening. I typically go live after 4. I always say after 4. I try to nail it down, but it's hard for me to do that. But I usually say after 4, usually between 4 and 7 I go live. And and I usually get on there and I talk about especially spiritual gifts and how to connect and all that. And I talk about manifesting and metaphysical things and stuff like that. Whatever spirit tells me to talk about that day is what I talk about. So anyway, so join me there, and then also I give messages from spirits as well. So again, thank you for joining me. I hope that your day is magical. Have a wonderful one. Bye now.